Well, hello playmates. A lot of you wanted to know about this distilling business, so I thought I'll show you how I'm going to do this batch here. So I used demijohns here, these big jars, for fermenting, and I put an airlock on the top and leave them. I left this one 5 weeks, and I've just siphoned it into the bucket down here, which we're going to heat up. So I've just taken the final reading off this, and it is exactly 1. That's perfect. When you've got sugar in water mixed together, it's extremely dense, and what we want to do is turn all that sugar into as much alcohol as we can. Now I'll show you the sugar that we used. This is the Demerara sugar, so I used 2 of these and 4 of these. This is molasses, fancy molasses. It's like cane sugar. Well, it's supposed to be, I don't know if it's real or not. And this is supposed to be cane sugar as well. But the problem with that is it takes a long time to fermentate. It's a very slow fermentated molasses, but we should get a half decent rum out of it. So what I've done is I've lifted my jar onto here, and I've siphoned out the liquor into this barrel down here. Now in some of the instructions it says you can use this bottom thing here for fermenting, you know, but you can see the crud at the bottom of here. You don't want to boil that up because it'll make your taste go wrong, and that's what you want. You want some taste out of it, so hopefully this is going to be good. So the next step, I was given this little, oh no, we're up and down all the time, aren't we, today? I was given this little butane heater, and I thought this is great for that. So if I open the window, we should be fine. Now you have to be extremely careful when you're using an open flame when you're doing like distilling like this. I really would have liked to have done it on an induction cooker, but I think it's going to take forever. See, induction cookers here are only limited to 1800 watts on 110 volts. There's hardly any poop. There's enough to do your sausage, but that's about it. And that is a big quantity of liquid. So what I'm going to do now you've seen this, now you've seen this bit, we're going to clamp on the top of the still. Now you can see it all coming together. You see, oh wait a minute, I've forgotten something very interesting. Wait, I've forgot, oh no, I'll clamp this on now. And I'll go and get the interesting thing. The interesting thing's downstairs. Right, so what I forgot is these things. These are stainless steel pan scourers. Get them off Amazon, cheap as chips. Don't get steel, alright? You could use copper ones. The thing is, we've got so much copper in this unit here, but it's not really important. Apparently the copper takes the sulfates out, so that's why I use it. So what we do, we take the top off here, if we can. There we go. Bit of a tight fit. And what we're going to do is drop these in here. Alright, we're going to make a packing out of these. Now the bottom one I'm going to put this away, but I'm just going to put packing in like this. What the hell are you doing that for? Right, this is called a reflux still. You know, you old farts that get acid indigestion, you know, acid reflux. Well, it's the same thing. Your vapours, turned in Japanese, are going to come up this tube, and they're going to hit those baffles in there, and some of the condensate will drop onto them and drop back down into the bottom over and over and over again until you get a very fine liquid coming out the top of here, or a very fine vapour. This is the clever bit about this design. This tube here actually goes up to here. Alright, so this is a 3-inch tube and this is a 2-inch tube, and the only piece I had to buy was this bit here, this reducer. So what happens is, in here there is a coil, a copper coil. You put your cold water in here and the return comes out here. So when those vapours are coming up, they're trying to escape, and they can't escape any further, because I don't know if you can see, but right down at the bottom of here it's capped off. So that tube's just keeping that tube here is just stopping any vapours coming out the side. So vapours can only come around this outside, where they will condensate and then drop back down again. When this is full for the first time, we open up the tap and let that bit go. Alright? We don't bother with foreshots and heads and stuff like that. And then we can get it going, because then it'll be nice and warm. It's a strange apparatus. It took me a little while to work it out, but it works very, very well. Right, let me get my stuffing in. So here we are, we're all set up now. I've hooked a pipe to go to a bottle on this dirty chair now. It's very important to get the dirtiest chair possible, the one you stand on to go onto top shelves. I've also got the water coming in at the bottom and going into the drain. Alright, and we can control that flow because I put a tap joined onto my cold water tap downstairs. And this is why we're doing it in the kitchen, because otherwise if I do this outside the pipe would probably freeze up. So we're ready to actually fire up. Now the temperature at the moment in here is around about 22 degrees, which is kind of nice. So that means we don't have to put a great lot of heat in. We only need to get this up to 80. So this is why I like doing it on the gas, because we can control the flame a lot easier. Induction's great, but well, it's a mess about. So let's go. So far so good. So I've had a bit of a harassment. The little stove down there ran out of gas just at the good moment, so I've had to concoct this bloody thing up. I bought this years ago, it's the first time I've used it, and I've messed about with half an hour to get it to work. I think it got flood water in the regulator. Anyway, it's working now. I've got the windows open. These windows will be replaced this year, by the way, because they're absolute crap. But now we've got some better heat. Yeah, that works great. That'll work on that little heater down there. Will work on my tiny pot still, but not on this one. It's got like 5-6 gallons of water in it. So hopefully now, yes, we're getting there now. I fixed this leak in the meantime. Yes, that is a lot better. I got the thermal imaging camera out. We'll do some numbers. Right, let's see what the pot is now. 72. That's good. That's stripped there. 25. That's 25. That's good. We've got cold water running through here. That's nicely chilled. Yeah, that's getting warm now. That's good. Well, it seems like forever, but I think we're getting there now. I turned it up a little bit. I think I had it too low, and I turned off the cooling. Now we're up to 50, and it's rising very rapidly, just like I said it would. Yeah, 51. So we've got the cooling on now. There we go. Now I'm just wondering, you know, when I was doing this, I was just wondering if I had too many thoughts going through my head, and it was too much packing. I don't know. I don't think so. Put the light on. Is that better? Yeah, look at that. 55. Just whilst I was talking to you. So it does go up kind of rapidly. We're looking for 80. This is nice and cold at the top, so that's good. 60. 61. You see how fast it goes, eh? It's not the thermal, you know, the energy from the pot transferring through the copper, it's the actual vapours going round and round and round. And that's that. Yeah, it's red hot in here. I think I'll do the next one outside. I'm sweating like a pig. 65. 66. look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. So, down by the old shitty chair, we open the tap. There she goes. So we're going to throw that bit away, but what we're going to do is we're going to wait. I hope you saw that. It's kind of exciting. That's the foreshoots coming off. So we're going to wait until this chamber's full, and then we'll start our proper run back onto the stand. Well, that didn't take long. We've got 50 millilitres of the first off, so now we're going to leave that to run into the pot. Let's see if we can do a zoom. That may be easy and take my camera off. Can you see it going? Oh, like billiard now, look at that. And again, 78. Oops. Sorry about that. So it's going like billiard now. And the temperature is 78. See? There she goes. Oh, we should say what it tastes like, shouldn't we? Holy shit. Ooh, it's very rummy. It's very sweet. I think I'll put a bit more cold water on. There we go. Because we're getting vapours in the jar. Oh, I'm pleased about that. That works kind of good. Let's see. It says 79.5 around about here. Ah, that's not too bad. It's pretty accurate, that thermometer. Oh, well, it was worth it after all. And you can probably see there's no vapours, no fumes coming out the top. It's now all condensating here. So what's happening is the vapours are coming up here, catching in the tube here in the coil, dropping down into this little cup and then into the bowl. Ah, that's nice. That's nice. Well, I'll tell you something, I think I can turn that heat down a bit now because it's really over here. You see, the problem with this little setup here, when the distillate comes out of your pan, through the lid of the pan, it can only travel around this copper pipe here. This is supposed to have nice cold water in here, but there isn't much surface area in there, so whether it's not cooling. But the problem was, this is the pipe that's coming out of the top, and which connects to that thing here. So that means there's a very small surface area where we've got a 2-inch diameter pipe on there, which is considerably bigger than this, so we're getting more product coming through. Okay, that's why it runs like a tap. Well, like I say, these are the, yeah, you can smell the heady aroma of acetone. That's the first stuff that comes off. So what we do with that, ironically, we keep it for cleaning, or if you want to do it, put it in your screen wash. It works out nice. Yeah, now you see that? That gauge now is absolutely spot on the same temperature. It hasn't risen, hasn't gone anywhere. I don't know if you can see that. It might be a bit, the reflection might be bad, but it's stayed at 78. So once it's 78, we'll just keep running. I haven't yet mastered how much alcohol you should get out of like 5 gallons. I haven't sort of worked that out yet. I've been out of it for a long time, but we'll just keep stripping it until the temperature drops down a bit. I'll tell you something, the first time we had this going, we didn't know what the hell we were doing, like most jobs I do, but it just worked perfect. And it's one of those things I was thinking about the other night, that how can you make it better? I always think of, like, how can we make this a little bit better? Next time it's going to be better, next time it's going to be better. And I think the next time it's going to be better was the heating this time. This works, the tube works, but it's the heating. I've got to perfect that. Yeah, there's a complete. I wish we had smelly vision. That is powerful. This, next. A bit warm, but it's a nice rummy taste. Now the thing is, one thing you've got to remember, you're going to say, is that it? Is that all you're going to get, Mike? Well, it's not so much that, no. What we're going to do now is we're going to test the alcohol percentage of it. Right, so this little one here will tell us what the alcohol level is, not limit. %75%. Oh, it's not too bad. Oh, wait a minute. We'll leave it for a run because now it's got to 78. We'll just leave it and see what it gets to. Because this is still quite warm. Oh, now it's got to 80. I think the best we ever had was like 92 or something like that. Yeah. Can you see that? Now, what I'm trying to get to you is this. You can't drink 80% spirit. It'll kill you. I'm quite pleased about that for a good run, 80%. You have to dilute it with water, spring water preferably, to around about 40%. So we keep adding more water to this till we get 40%. So actually whatever we get out of here, we double it. Alright, do you get that? Double it. This is why we keep testing it. We keep just stopping, testing, stopping, testing. For the simple reason, once it starts to drop your levels, you're going to get your good stuff out, and then you go into tails, what's called tails, and it'll be sort of watery, but still alcohol. Keep your tails to put into the next batch. Well, we still keep going on. We're on to our 4th bottle now, but we're only doing small measures, so we know which is the hearts and when we get to the tails. But anyway, the nice thing about this setup is once we've come from using the return water, and instead of putting it down the sink, we use it to wash our bottle, our demijohns up. And I know this sounds stupid, but to clean them out thoroughly inside before you sterilise them, OxyClean. It's fantastic stuff. Gets all the rubbish off. Believe me, just one scoop. It'll mix up with the. Oh, we'll give it 2. We'll give it a scoop with it. How's that? Got the power of oxygen. No, it's really good. It'll take off all the old yeast inside, and then we sterilise it. A lot of people think we waste our time, but no, it's a look. Cheap, like. So I've had this bottle outside. Now it's chilled down a bit. It's around about 20 Celsius, which is what it should be, because the product was kind of hot, rather like me. We're going to test it again, because remember it was 80%. And this will show you what the difference in temperature makes. Here we go. Can you see that? So it's about 84%. So there's 4% difference by getting it back down to the right temperature. So 84%. That's pretty good. Now what we do with the rest of them, we wait till they get to the same temperature, and we measure them until they're all sort of even, and then they start to go down, and that's when you get your tails. You can still keep distilling it out, it doesn't matter, you just it's still a good product. It hasn't got anything in it. Well, it's got alcohol in it naturally, but it's got probably only 20% alcohol, so you're running down now. So, but we can keep those tails and put them into the next batch, because I've got another one down there which I'm going to tell you about later, and we'll put it into that one. Economically, recycling. So I've just tested bottle number 5, because I only put them in small bottles like this, and this one here is 78%, so we're going down now. So this is our tails run. So whether we shut it down now, I don't know. I've got one more bottle on there, and then I'll just run it for tails, and then we'll see how much we can get out of this machine. I had to go for a sit down. This thing's kept running and running and running. It's now down to 70%. It's now 4:45. I've just kept it on a very, very low heat. Just ticking over. It's still at 75 degrees Celsius. And it's, well, no, wait a minute, it's 71. I was expecting it to be a lot lower, so I'm going to just keep this going for a bit longer. Bloody hell. What's it like anyway? There we go. Yep, still as sweet. Well, this has really amazed me how efficient this has been. It's still running. Like I say, it's 5:30 now and it's still going. I really would like to shut it down. And I'm running out of bottles. So what I've done down here on the counter here, I don't know if you can see here. I started off here. This is the first bottle, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did that. They're called cuts. So we've cut the ethanol coming out to see when it starts to decline in quantity, like down to like 20%, and it's still going. It's still about 70-odd%. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm thinking about blending the first ones together in one big pot, because it is really good stuff, and then progressively get shallower, but I don't know. It's made an awful lot, a lot more than I actually thought. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test. These are kind of cold because they've been outside. It's red hot in my kitchen. It's 30 degrees in here because of the bloody fire on it. It's only on its very lowest thing, you know what I mean? But here it's still 76, 77 degrees Celsius, which is really good. And this is working perfectly. It's ice cold at the top, medium here. That's just how we want it. And it's still dripping like a tap after all these hours. Unbelievable. I've never seen it like that before. So I've never seen it. So I don't really know what I'm getting into now. But it is good stuff. Do you want me to prove it? I'll prove it. So we're going to take number 8 and we're going to do a spoon test. Now usually a spoon test is to tell if it's got methanol in it. Usually say if it's yellow it's got methanol in it. But all we're going to do is just lightly wet a spoon. And we're going to put the lid straight back on, because honestly we're dealing with very flammable subjects now here. Substances. Is that on? It is now. Now I'm not sure if you're going to see this. Anyway, this is number 8. This is bottle number 8. Can you see the flame? Can you see it's blue? Can you see that? It's really hard to see, isn't it? But it's still there. Now, the one thing we want to see is it leaving water? So we'll go down to the next one and test that again. You only do a splash. Top back on. Again. It's incredibly difficult to see. You maybe saw a bit there, look. You see how it's blue? I want to see if it leaves any water. Still going. Still going. Is it still going? Yeah, so that's how much it left. So there is a little bit of water in it, but not all that much. So I'm thinking this lot here, up to here, we'll shove in that jar, we'll mix it up here, and we might have to do another distillation on it later on. But we might just do that with a small. So let's put all that lot in here and see how much we get. Oh, look at that. You'd have thought I'd calculated it, wouldn't you? So, we're going to have a test of that and see actually what its value is. Now, remember, don't drink this. This is just really bad to drink. But what we're doing is we're going to test the alcohol volume. And this is kind of cold, so it's going to be dense. I mean, not dense like it's going to be thick, like somebody from South Bank or something like this. If I warm that up in my hand, it's gone about 72. So that's not too bad. So 72%, you need to get it to 40. We're probably looking at another one of these in water. So 2.6 litres of drinkable alcohol, which isn't bad at all. The temperature's falling a bit, so we might be getting to the end of our run on this. I hope so. But it just keeps going on, going and going and going. It's like Ariston. And like you say, you don't even have to touch it. But yeah, you probably have noticed that even though when we started off this morning, or this afternoon, that the wash was brown because of the molasses and the sugar. But you can see by this is the alcohol that's come out. It's evaporated out, distilled into there and gone into there. What a nice piece of kit. Let's come back later. So it's 6:15. We're going to call it an end now, because I've just done a spoon test on this and we're not getting very much out of it at all. So I think it's time to turn everything off. Turn off the bottle, turn off the gas. God, it's like a bloody oven in here. It's a good thing to do in winter. Might as well turn the heating off and do this. We're going to turn the water off. There we go. That's the water off. Turn this tap off. We've got a little bit of spirit in here, but nothing really to get excited about. It's got a nice taste to it though. I might just keep that as a separate thing. Now what I want to do is put some flavours into these things as well. We're going to try some oak chips. We're going to try some sugar that's been burnt sugar to make like a navy rum. Yeah, no, we're going to have all sorts of stuff. Did I turn that off? That's it. So the fire's off. That's off. We'll let this cool down and we'll put this video together and see what we've got.